Hello, everybody, and welcome to Renewable English. Today's lesson is all about fast fashion. We're going to be scratching the surface and looking into fashion and the way it affects our planet and what we can do to make a change. We've got top tips, unfun facts, an expert interview, and we've also got a little trip to the charity shop one day a few weeks back that I went on for a bit of fun. Okay, so this week, sorry, I completely forgot to do this bit. Website, don't forget to go on over there. YouTube page, I'm sure you know it already. Click subscribe. Social media, if you're not following us already, please do on Facebook and on Insta. We do potter about on Twitter as well, so feel free to jump on over there as well. So what was our quote this week? We released it on Monday. This is from one of my absolute heroes of sustainable fashion. Ursula de Castro, the co-founder of the fashion revolution. I recently read a book, Love Clothes Last, and it is fantastic. Really encourages you to get out there and sew and fix things. And one thing that's really poignant, that really sticks out to me in this quote, the most sustainable garment is the one already in your wardrobe. So whether you're looking for some new sustainable fashion, have a look back in your wardrobe and see what you can do with it. And maybe it's not in your wardrobe, maybe it's in a friend's wardrobe. Like, why not go over and see if there's something you can trade? Or, you know, check out your old shirts. There might be something in there that still takes your fancy. So, here is some of today's vocab, some of the vital vocab from today. If you look at the top there, oh, need to get my angles right so I don't take my hand outside the screen too much. Fast fashion. Fast fashion, what is that? Well, it's generally the place where most of us go and get our clothes is when we go to the big chain stores, and it's stuff that's produced very quickly from low quality materials. Now, we could go on for a very long time about what's not good about the fast fashion industry. We're going to look today at its environmental impact. There are a lot of obviously social justice issues behind it as well, but today we're going to look at the environmental impact of fast fashion. Consumer, the person doing the buying, or the person using the products, so the consuming the products. We talked about those before. Second hand, it's my favourite type of clothes are second hand clothes. I try and buy all my shirts second hand, or I get them from second hand apps, or I go to charity shops. Obviously, in the charity shops, you get less choice, but there's also some fantastic kind of little gems in there. So I absolutely love it. They are some snazzy shirts. I have to agree with you there, Tyson. I have to agree there. And hi there, and thanks everyone for coming along today. And then synthetic fibers. Now, these are the things that are man-made. So you'll see a lot of clothes and a lot of big clothing stores advertising that they have recycled clothes. Now, this usually comes from the recycled plastics that we get rid of, and they remake them into clothes. So then they still release the microplastics and stuff like that. So again, it's better than brand new fabric, and but these recycled ones in this case, not exactly the best in the world. So reverting back to that quote from a moment ago, look in your closet. What do you have there? And make sure you can make the most of it. So I'm going to share a little video with you now about an adventure I went on recently. I'll ask you a couple of questions afterwards, but charity shops, yeah, says Kids Can. Hi there, Kids Can. Lovely to see you guys. There aren't many charity shops here in Seville, in Spain. I remember when I went back to England recently, well, not that recently, but walking along, and there were hundreds of them. you know, I was in a daze. It was fantastic. But yeah, here in Spain, in Seville especially, we've got two. So I'm a I'm a regular visitor there to see how they're getting on. Right, so let's have a look at this mini adventure. We'll click across now and we'll see where I went and what I got. I'm in the centre and I'm off to find a second-hand shop, a charity shop. I need a new shirt and a new hat. Remember, when you're shopping for clothes, it's very important to make sure you need it and you don't just want it. That's one option. This fancy cotton shirt, but I prefer this floral design. I think I'll go for that one. Well, there was no luck on the hat, but I did get a new shirt. I'm going to start looking at some apps to see if I can find a more suitable summer hat. So I've had a quick look through a couple of apps, and here are my top 4 choices. What do you think I should choose? Which one's best? Which one will suit me the most throughout the summer? So then, I hope you're paying close attention. Do you remember what were the things that I went out for originally? What were the things that I went to get? What new things did I want to buy? While you're thinking of that and typing it in, you can see this here is clearly an unironed shirt. I didn't want to waste any electricity on that. I'd like to say hello to Oliver, who was here last week. Hope she's here again this week. Hello there. We connected on Instagram recently. Always a pleasure. So what do you guys think? And let's see if the eagle-eyed of you noticed anything that happened in that last video. Body heat kills wrinkles, apparently. Well, I'll tell you what, right now, the amount of body heat I'm giving off from this front room in my house with the sun coming in through the window, as I'm sure you're aware, it's not exactly cold here in Andalusia at this time of year. So my body heat's going to be dealing with some wrinkles here, I think. Luckily, they're natural fibres, so I won't smell too bad, which is always a bonus and a plus, particularly for my wife. Okay, so we didn't get any answers in the chat box there, but don't worry. I was looking for a new shirt and a new hat. I didn't succeed with the new hat. I'm fairly attached to this one, as you may or may not have noticed. More about that in next week's lesson. Something very interesting on the horizon. So, what time is it? It's time for some unfun facts. Oh wow, that sounded so good, Harry. You've got such a beautiful fun facts. Okay, perhaps not that beautiful. So, here we go. Fun facts. So, unfun facts today. The first one. The fashion industry is responsible for 8% of CO2 emissions. That's a lot. It's also responsible for 35% of the microplastics found in the ocean. Now, as far as water is concerned, it takes 7,000 litres to make one pair of jeans. That's like 5 years of drinking water. Ridiculous. And it's 2,700 litres for a t-shirt. How many t-shirts have you got? Go and check. See how much water's been wasted. Do you need that many t-shirts? And finally, 20% of water pollution is caused because of dyeing and manipulating textiles. Just not okay, really, is it? Back to you, mate. Well, there we go. You can tell from my beautiful assistant there that those facts were not particularly fun. They never are here, let's be honest. They're never all that fun. So now it's very simple, same as every week. True or false? The T's easy, but who's ever done an F with their hands? I would be interested to find out how to do it in sign language. I'm going to learn that for next week. That's my challenge. That's my homework for this week. Thank you very much, Mr. Francis. I agree. I'm right back at you. So the first fact here. Fashion is... Oh, look at that. He's made it too small. What a foolish error. There we go. Let's move that down a bit. Fashion is responsible for up to 35% of microplastic that flows into the ocean. Is that true or false? Remember the infographic before. True or false? What do you think? What do you think? That's right, Jan. It is microplastic. Just some excellent positioning of the text from the teacher. Obviously, he paid close attention when he was putting this class together there. What a clown that guy is. What a clown. So, very good, Jan. Fantastic. It is true. It is true. Very good. Although, obviously, very bad in terms of the fact. So we mentioned a bit earlier about recycled clothes and synthetic fibres, how that releases. Well, that's part of the reason for that. So fact number 2. The fashion industry is... Oh, he's done it again. He's done it again. What a clown. There we go. That'll be easier to read. Should probably check ahead with the next one, Harry. Why don't you? See if it takes up 18 lines or not. So, the fashion industry is responsible for 5% of carbon emissions. True or false? True or false? I don't know. It could be true, could be false. I do know. But do you know? That's the question. I don't know if you know, but I know that I know. I was paying attention to the video before. Any guesses in the chat box? Put them in the chat box. Any guesses in the chat box? Yeah, I'm not exactly musically talented. Feel free. There we go. Jan saves the day again. Paying attention. Chucking a big F in there. It is false. It was 8%, as I'm sure you're aware. Oh, look at that. Very good, Tommy. 8%. Wonderful. You can find all of these on your worksheets, which are, of course, on the Renewable English website. And I didn't share them at the start of this class because I don't know where my head's at. That classic basement jacks. Where's your head at? Anyway, it takes 5,000 litres of water to make a pair of jeans. Or 5,000 litres of water are used when making jeans, would be a better way to phrase that. Because obviously you don't just use water to make jeans. Although, I'll tell you what, right now, if they had some water jeans that were just like water that went around your legs, I'd probably try those out. Pretty warm here. It's definitely very much shorts weather at the moment, and sandals, of course, without socks. Let's not be silly. Without socks. Hi there, Vanessa. Thank you for joining us, my dear. Hello. There you go. That's a great idea. I'm going to paint on my jeans. I think I'll still have to wear underwear, otherwise I'll probably get arrested. So it's a good idea, though. Let's have a look. Well, 5,000 litres used... Well, it's not 5,000, it's actually 7,000. That's in the process. So, obviously, cleaning, using the cotton, getting it washed. There's just an awful lot of water. And then, obviously, when you take it home and wash it. So, yeah, it's actually 7,000 litres. So, that one is false. I'm not going to throw the F at you again there. My apologies. Although, we all know it was just the letter F, which he hasn't learnt with his hands yet. But he will. So we've still got a few sections to go. The next one is the expert interview. The expert interview is with Cherie, and she comes from Sustainable Fashion Matters. Now we're going to check her out and listen to what she's got to say with some great advice and just some new ways of looking at things. I know when I started out with this, I'd heard of fast fashion, but I had no idea to the extent of the damage that it has on the planet, amongst other things. So this was one of the things that really helped open my eyes. Excellent. That's very good. And for some reason, it doesn't want to play. I don't know why, but I see today. For some reason, it doesn't want to play. I don't know why. Let me have a look why it's not playing. Well, this is embarrassing, isn't it? I don't know why it won't load. I've clicked the go button, but it won't go. Give me a moment. So I'm going to let you have a look at Ali's top tips in the meantime while I'm going to check out what's gone on here with this file. I've probably just moved it to somewhere stupid.
Hello and welcome to Ali's Top Tips. Why not do a clothes swap with your friends and enjoy each other's clothes? Buy natural fabrics so you won't have to wash them as much and you won't be as smelly. Wear your clothes until they have holes and then fix them and wear them some more. Buy and sell your clothes on second-hand apps, and even better, a charity shop. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next week. Bye!
Well, there we go. I think I've managed to locate where the missing interview has gone. So let's see if it would like to work this time, which would be nice. Thanks very much, Jan. I appreciate your kind words, but we all know I just have a low voice and use it probably a bit too much for most people's liking. I guess those of you who don't live with me don't have to put up with my nonsense and my jibber jabber, as my wife may put it. Although she wouldn't say that because she's awesome. Right then, so the interview I promised you.
I'm joined today
right here
by Cherie.
Obviously, like it wasn't anyway. I've fixed it up. It's ready to go.
I'm joined today by Cherie, who is the freelance photographer. She's the founder of Sustainable Fashion Matters and Creative Matters Fund. Thank you very much for joining us. So I'm going to ask you a few questions, if that's okay.
Sure, go for it.
So the first one is, what inspired you to get into sustainable fashion?
Yeah, I worked in fast fashion for almost 4 years as creative director. The essence of it was so in contradiction to me. I felt like I was really creating just waste in the end of the day. And at some point then I decided to quit my job because I really, it just felt so off to do something so contradictory to my actual values. And then my journey to the network of sustainable fashion, the sustainable fashion community really started.
Why is fast fashion so bad for the planet?
Let's say, for example, a pair of jeans needs about 7,000 liters to be produced. The fashion industry is a huge polluter of water, huge creator of CO2 emissions. And so many products these days are just made out of polyester, which is not a biodegradable product. So when you look at the relation to what is being made, the quality of like that and the usage that it gives us in relation to what it's taking away or maybe giving us in terms of a negative impact, it's not an equal equation.
It's the production, it's the usage, and then it's after you finish using it as well. It's like, it's the whole journey of like this item of clothing, this polyester things and stuff like that, the whole journey of every step of the way, it's affecting the planet. What are some of your top tips to helping people kind of step away from fast fashion?
One thing I always do if I buy something new is just taking the time to think about, okay, what would I wear this with? And do I have something similar? And then imagining the situation and then thinking about what of the two items would I choose. This has saved me from buying so many shoes.
Thank you so much for coming on today. It's
Thank
been an
you.
absolute pleasure. And I'll see you around.
So there we go. Just going to ask her a couple of questions. She said she worked in fast fashion. Can you remember what her job was? I'm going to give you three options, A, B, and C. Was she A, a creative director? Was she B, a marketing executive? Or was she C, a buyer? A, B, or C? A, B, or C? Should really stop that. What do you think? Yeah, I'm not Justin Bieber. Although you may have been confused. What do you think? Creative director, marketing executive, or a buyer? A. The answer is A. Fantastic. She was a creative director. And does anyone know why she left her job? What did she think she was creating? She said, I was creating lots of... Was she creating lots of amazing clothes? Was she creating lots of waste? Or was she creating a better planet? Good, yes, it was A. Kids can, the first one. And Jan also said it was A for the first one. But for the second one, what did she say she was creating? Amazing clothes, A. Waste, B. Or a better planet, C. Cash for her business is, well, at the end of the day, that's what a lot of this comes down to. So if you take cash away from those businesses, it's a great way to make that impact. So rather than buying an extra pair of jeans because it's 50% off and you're making a huge saving, instead of that, maybe don't buy that pair of jeans. Then you're making a saving of not spending that money, and you're making a 7,000 litre saving of water as well. Kids can, they've got it there. Waste. She thought she was creating a lot of waste. And yeah, not only with the fabrics and so on, but also with the water, as we went before. And can anybody remember why fast fashion is bad for the planet? Just anything. Throw anything out there what you've got. What do you think? Why is fast fashion not great for the planet? It just isn't good for the planet. So what do you think? Chuck in your ideas. Exactly, Wes. And you're saving the planet. You went there with the cash for the business. Good. It explodes when they pile it up. They certainly have to burn a lot. I remember a while back watching a very famous designer burn $1 million worth of clothes. So yeah, I just thought they could be they could be recycled. They could be given to people who really need them, or not burn. Not burn for me would be the primary option for waste fabrics, and not sent to landfill. Maybe given to people who need it, or turned into upcycled into something fancy and new. Okay, so there are questions for the interview. Please do check out the full interview on the YouTube channel, which you all know by now. You're all here, so I'm going to flick it up there. It's easy. Renewable English. Type it in, click the little bell, then you'll know when I'm coming on, and you'll know how to avoid me. I know you don't want to avoid me, guys. Thanks. Shucks. So something new I wanted to add before the Planet Promise today, and that was who to follow. Who should I follow when we're talking about fashion and the planet? It's something I'm going to add to all of the lessons now, just to give some ideas. Apparently my spacing was bad on that, so I'll fix it up next time, don't you worry. I could probably do it right now. I need to work on my spacing. That threw me off a little bit. So who should we follow? There are lots of different people that you can follow. I'm going to go through a couple of them. Some of the people that have really inspired me and what I've learned from these people over the last year or so has really helped me in kind of readjusting the way I behave, learning how to sew a bit better. I'm not up to creating new garments yet, but I am in the position where I can darn old ones and fix holes and stuff like that. So it's a unique take on an old item of clothing. So the first one, we saw her quote earlier. Have a look. She's also released a fantastic book, as I mentioned before, which can really help guide you towards being. I need to move up a bit there. Being a bit more sustainable. So check out Ursula de Castro on Instagram and all over the socials. And get her book and give it a read. Next is Stella Abril. We actually had a chat recently on Change Is Now, her podcast. She brings loads of great fashion and beauty ideas. In fact, we've got an interview with her next week. So give her a follow to find out all about sustainable fashion and, of course, sustainable beauty. And then Sustainable Fashion Matters, our guest today. If you check out their website as well, their facts section is brilliant. Really, really good. I enjoyed it. Just for sort of sitting there and I don't know, mind-blowing facts is something that I enjoy, whether they're good or bad, I'll be honest. So I sat there and I enjoyed the fact that I could learn so much in such a short space of time. They're all there with their sources. So get in there. You might want to cry, and it won't be an enjoyable cry, because a lot of them are incredibly shocking, but I recommend going and checking that out. There's all sorts of background reading on there as well. So go and give them a follow. Learning is fun, Jan. I couldn't agree more. Learning is fun. It's one of the best things you can do. So that, I'm afraid, don't cry. All 6 of you, don't cry. It is coming up to the end of the lesson. We will be continually updating. I'll post tomorrow about those people to follow. I'll post it on Instagram tomorrow. But before we go, don't forget the website. Log into it 15, 20, 30 times a day. It's great. It'll be really good for you. Also, there's a chance there if you want to get some Renewable English on the road workshops at your school. Check out the website. It tells you how. That was something that was really exciting that I haven't spoken about. Yeah, the Renewable English went on the road this week and we'll be going on the road again in a couple of weeks. We'll be going into schools, doing some workshops, seeing what we can do to help the planet and hopefully give the voice to some future young activists. So that's the website. Here's the YouTube. And of course, Renewable English is completely free. I know some of you have donated. I want to say a huge thanks to Kids Can, who gave us a wonderful donation over the weekend. Filled our hearts with joy and filled my eyes with tears. I am a bit soppy. I am prone to breaking down when really good and nice things happen. And yeah, this donation came from a really good and nice person. So thank you, Vanessa at Kids Can. I need to stop doing so much with my hands, don't I? Honestly, it was wonderful. And thanks to everybody else who's donated. And yes, stand by because next week there's going to be an announcement. Can't stop moving my hands. I'll hold onto this plastic thing. Yeah, it's a clothes hanger. We haven't got rid of all our plastic clothes hangers yet, so there's still some small ones from the child. That'll stop me moving my hands. So yeah, thank you very much, everybody. Thank you for joining us. It's been a pleasure. Now let's listen to the wonderful outro music created by the incredible Tommy Francis. Thank you very much, everybody. It's been a pleasure, and I'll see you soon.